Hello, hello. This is J Goddess with J Goddess Tarot, and today I'm here with another pick a card. And today's pick a card is about a self-care activity, but it may not sound like a self-care activity. Sorry, guys. So today's pick a card is about setting energetic boundaries, and I have three piles for you to choose from. Pile 1 with the beautiful raw citrine, pile 2 with the raw amethyst cluster, and then pile 3 with the raw rose quartz. Take a few moments, take a few deep breaths, and as you think about what pile or piles call your name, please check out the links in the description box below. I have a link to my Instagram where I post readings for the collective pretty often. I have a link to my Amazon wish list of decks that I would like, no pressure, but always appreciate gifts, and a link to my Patreon. We're a high vibe tribe over there, all about self-love, self-empowerment, uplifting of our own energy and the energy of the collective. I post exclusive pick a cards there. I also post any extendeds for YouTube videos I create. I post the extendeds there as well. And I post Too Spicy for YouTube readings, 18 plus. And finally, I also post very tactical and strategic ways to develop in certain areas, such as developing your intuition. So, you've had a few moments. Please pick your pile and we'll get started. So, hello, hello. If you chose this beautiful raw citrine crystal pile, this is your pile. This is pile 1. And I know some of the cards that came out may look a little frightening. Don't be scared, because I asked Spirit for answers to very specific questions. So this is actually not related to love or anything like that. This is a specific spread, and it's about setting energetic boundaries. And setting appropriate boundaries with people, if you recognize it or not, is a form of self-care. And what I want for you, my pal ones, is to start setting those boundaries with people. So the energy that I'm picking up overall, especially with the first 3 cards, this is about you needing to set a boundary, energetic boundary with a specific person. And the energy I'm picking up is this toxic friend. You know, that person that many of us know, they claim to be our friends many times, but they're just always in a whirlwind of drama and bullshit of their own making. Even if they ask your opinion about something, they rarely listen to it. And then when shit blows up in their face, like we know it will, then they come to you and dump all their emotional, crazy baggage and drama and emotion on you. So this is what I'm picking up for you, my pal ones. So when I ask Spirit, how can my pal ones separate themselves from other people's energy? I have the Devil card came out. So the energy I'm picking up from that is, first of all, you need to recognize where that is happening in your life. And I'm feeling this is a specific person that always pulls you into their bullshit. Like they always, as I was describing, they're always in some type of situation or situationship that is over the top dramatic. They're the one on the phone with you late nights and early mornings. And you, my pal ones, I feel you are deeply compassionate people and you're very empathetic. You may not outwardly show it to others, but there's something about, I'll use air quotes with this friend, they sense that about you, and they know you're going to kind of take on their craziness. You know what I mean? By being upset and staying up late on the phone with them and all these types of things. So I feel, first of all, you need to recognize this when it's happening, because I don't feel you understand how good they are at sucking you in. Now, this may not be one specific person for you. If that doesn't resonate, let that fly. But for many of you, I'm getting the energy that this talks about, especially these first 3 cards, a specific person in your life that is energetically draining to you. So something that you can do in the moment to stop absorbing their unwanted emotions is the 3 of Swords. Just kind of like end it. Like just rip yourself away from it. Kind of like a 3 of Swords in a love reading is about a broken heart, feeling like your heart's been ripped out. I feel in this case, this isn't about love. This is about you need to just put a stop to it. You need to kind of shake yourself out of the illusion that their shit is your shit, because it's not. Because you, my pal ones, I feel live in a very intentional and strategic way, and you don't you yourself don't get into drama and bullshit, but you have this friend that is just determined to, if not physically drag you into it, they're energetically dragging you into this stuff often. And you need to just allow that shadow to come to light and just stop it. And it's going to be hard because you feel that, for many of you, my pal ones, I feel that you think that putting up energetic boundaries is turning your back on someone. Appropriate boundaries with people is not about lacking compassion or lacking care, but it is about recognizing that they have their stuff, you have yours. You can listen with a commiserating and caring ear, but you don't have to take on their shit. So to continue, how can you stay grounded in your own energy? This Ten of Swords reinforces the Three of Swords. Just, you have to let this end. You have to let this behavior of yours where you are getting sucked into this friend's, or this could be several friends, drama. You just have to let that come to an end. And one thing that I am seeing is this Ten of Swords. In the classic Rider-Waite tarot deck, there's this person on the ground with 10 swords in their back. I want this image to come to you the next time you're dealing with this person, my pal ones. Imagine a big, like, burlap sack, right? And you can imagine it filled with rocks. You can imagine it filled with horse manure. You can imagine it filled with whatever, but it's closed. And on the side of it, it says their emotional shit, right? And imagine the 10 swords sticking into the burlap sack. It's separate from you. You aren't picking it up and carrying it, even when you're talking to this person, because in the past, your pattern has been when they're crazy and in this place and emotional about another bad decision they've made, they bring it to you and then they dump it at your door, and then they walk away from the conversation feeling lighter because you've taken on their bullshit energetically. You just have to stop that. So think of that classic Rider-Waite tarot card for the Ten of Swords, and instead of the swords sticking a person in the back, just imagine this big burlap sack that says their emotional shit on the side, and then the 10 swords sticking in that. It's separate from you. You're not harming them, but you're also, that's not something you're going to go and pick up. It's separate from you. I keep hearing Spirit say that. So something you need to remember, in order to set energetic boundaries, you need to be in this King of Pentacles energy. King of Pentacles is the slowest moving card in the tarot deck. And I feel that is the lesson for you. You need to kind of sit back and be confident and comfortable and be very slow to react energetically to this particular person or persons. If you fall into this habit with several people, it's bullshit. That doesn't mean, once again, that you're not empathetic and that you're not compassionate. Just the opposite. You have enough awareness to know that you don't need to be dragged in energetically to their shit in order to be a voice of reason, a shoulder to cry on, and somebody to lean on. So you can still be loving, supportive, but you need to disconnect and you need to move like the King of Pentacles moves when these, I'm getting energy vampires, even in some sense, come to you with their foolishness. You need to take a step back, observe the situation, and very slowly, if at all, move your energy to connect with theirs. I feel that you need to stay in that King of Pentacles. Get in and then stay in that King of Pentacles energy. And then how can you use your energy sensitivity to help yourself and others is this Temperance card. Temperance is all about being in balance, being in harmony, and really making sure you can provide and help them in a way without depleting your own resources or self. And I feel that is very important for you, my pal ones, because I have a feeling many times you rush in, you want to try to solve the problem you may have, and many of us do, maybe people pleasers to some sense. So it's kind of, that's your default behavior, but it's leaving you drained and it's not good. And it's letting the people who need to really be dealing with their own shit like adults, you're really taking it out of their hands, and you shouldn't be. They got themselves into this mess. Let them get themselves out of this mess, whatever mess that is. That doesn't mean you can't be supportive and there for them, but don't take it on. Even if you have to create little rituals or limit in some way some the time you spend engaging with this person. You need to do that for your own health and welfare and self-care. So we also have the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? And I feel for this, you're clinging on to the belief that in order to be supportive and there for, as I said, I'm feeling this is a particular person, but this could be your habit many times, my pal ones. You're clinging on to the belief to, in order to be loving, supportive, and there for somebody, that you have to be energetically engaged in their drama. That is not true. You are so much more helpful when you disconnect and stay disconnected and keep that boundary between your energy and theirs. And as I said, this may come from engaging differently with this person or persons, that every time they call you, you know, it's a downpour. The sky is falling. You know, it's some drama. So you may have to take a step back, even if you have to separate yourself from this person for a little while. That doesn't mean cut them off, but taking a step back to reflect would be very useful for you, my pal ones, in setting energetic boundaries. So you also have, you're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon, and believe in the impossible, blue moon. This to me, especially the believing in the impossible, goes with the crumbling, because I feel there's a part of you that you resonate with what I'm saying, but you truly don't believe that you can be supportive and there for a person without becoming energetically entangled in their mess. And you absolutely can. And the healthiest way to help somebody is to make them own their shit. And I feel that for some of you, the person who comes and always dumps this stuff on you, if as you start kind of easing back and getting into more of this King of Pentacles energy, they may stop talking to you. And you know what? That's okay, because let them be somebody else's train wreck. For others of you, they'll start to get the hint that you are no longer going to be twisted into knots and, you know, upside down and all these other things because of their drama, because it's not healthy for you. It's not good for you. And it's really neglecting your own self-care and your own mental and emotional needs. So that is what you need to do, my pal ones, to set energetic boundaries. You really need to recognize this behavior. You need to take a step back and very slowly, if at all, recognize when you are engaging energetically in these things and keep a form of balance or moderation to your engagement with this person or persons. So thank you for letting me read for you today. Feel free to pick another pal if something else really intuitively calls to you. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when I post new content. Also, check out the links below in the description box. I have a link to my Instagram, a link to my Patreon. We're a high vibe tribe over there, all about self-improvement, self-empowerment, uplifting of our own energy and the energy of the collective. I post exclusive pick of cards, too hot for YouTube readings, as well as tutorials on things like developing your intuition. If this is where I leave you for today, I will see you in my next video. Hello, my pal twos. For those of you who selected this beautiful amethyst cluster, this is your reading about how to set energetic boundaries with people. So I asked Spirit specific questions for this spread, and that is what came up. So the first thing is, how can you separate yourself from other people's energy? And I have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is saying you feel stuck with engagement with a particular person or persons. And the truth is we know the Eight of Swords is you think you're stuck, but you're really not stuck. And this is the time for you to really unveil the truth about your engagement, your energetic engagement with this person. And then moving on to that Knight of Pentacles, something you can do in the moment to stop absorbing unwanted emotions is simply just walk away. Like the Knight of Pentacles, I think that this is literal in this sense. You need to sometimes separate yourself from the person or the people that are dumping maybe some of their emotional or energetic crap on you, my pal twos, by just walking away, taking a time out from the situation. I think that would be very good for you because you do absorb a lot of it. Then you can remain grounded in your own energy by operating in the Queen of Pentacles energy. If you notice, she's just there sitting on her throne, comfortable, confident, knowing she's the shit. And that's what you need to do. You need to calmly know that you have this handled, and you need to engage with these parties in a certain way And the way to stay in your own energy is to be that calm, understand, wait a minute, when they're talking to you and having this whole crisis situation about something they've done that they shouldn't have, or something that you advise them against, like dating a certain person or whatever, and now they're upset and crying, is sit back and understand this is their stuff, not your stuff. And what I mean, this is similar but not as intense as Pal Ones. This pertains to a person or persons who really come and like to dump their drama on you, and they always leave your presence feeling lighter, and you always feel a little bit tied up in knots because of the shit they've dumped on you. And you're like, okay, what's going on? And this is a friend. I think this is actually a true friend in this one, not somebody who just is using you because of your calm. So you need to sit back and really, when you're engaging in them, you need to really remember this is their stuff. This is their energy. This is their circumstances, whatever the case may be, and not yours. And then something to remember when you want to set energetic boundaries, this Three of Pentacles, yes, it's about community and working together. I feel you, my pal twos, are able to strongly do this in a work sense. So for instance, say you're working on a project and John is responsible for part A, Mary's responsible for part B, and you're responsible for part C. You are very comfortable doing your part, but also in a nice way, calling out the others if they're not stepping up on their part so the project can be completed on time. I feel you're very comfortable doing this at a work capacity. And I feel what Spirit is saying is take that and transfer it in your personal life. So when you have a friend or family, this is coming up as possibly family, who does that to you and wants to dump all their stuff on you, gently, you don't have to be mean to set boundaries. And I don't want you to think that. You need to say, well, okay, I understand you're going through XYZ. However, this was, a choice you decided to make. You understood the risk of this happening. Like, for instance, random example, you have a friend you told not to date that bad boy with a reputation of being a womanizer. They said, no, he'll be different with me, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Your friend dates him. Turns out he's exactly the same as he has been with all the other women. And now she's crying and upset. And you're like, wait a minute. This is when you can step in and say, well, wait a minute. I understand you're sad. However, I want you to recognize your part in this equation. And I'm by no means excusing somebody being a dog or cheating. That's not what I'm saying. As I said, my channel is not for kids. So teenagers, I'm not talking about high school students. I am talking about grown ass people here. So, and I'm talking to grown ass people. So if you're grown and you're dating somebody who is also grown, and you know that they have this reputation of just not being a fuckboy or a fuckgirl, to put it plainly, and you choose to date them already going in eyes wide open, knowing that, then you can't be but so surprised. And that's what you're going to have to tell your friend in this example. You can't be but so surprised that this happened because you had a very clear idea of what this person was about when you started dating them. And yes, I'm sorry for your heartbreak, but I can't let you keep me on the phone for 3 and 4 hours crying about this because, once again, you knew what you were stepping into when you dealt with them. So I feel the Three of Pentacles is really calling you to use some of the logic and strategic approaches you would use at work and working on a project to keep everybody accountable. You're going to have to do that with people in your personal life in order to set energetic boundaries. And it may feel uncomfortable at first. And of course, people aren't going to like boundaries. People don't like boundaries, especially the friends who are used to being able to come and dump all their shit on you. But guess what? Tough nookies. They don't deserve to come in and ruin your peace because they've made poor decisions that likely you told them. You gave them your opinion and your opinion was against whatever they did because you saw it ending up this way, and not lo and behold, it did end up this way. So that is what you're going to have to do to set these energetic boundaries. And then how can you use your energy sensitivity to help yourself and others? Keep balance in mind and keep harmony in mind. Many of you who are watching this may have wanted to watch Pal Ones. If so, please do so, because there's some similarities here, and there might be some additional messages in that pile for you as well. Because the Two of Pentacles is all about balance. So staying balanced, seeking harmony and equilibrium is very important. And I feel this is within yourself. Like, keep your energy balanced. Make sure you are, because once again, I'll say, setting energetic boundaries, setting any boundaries is a form of self-care. So once you're good that you're in balance with your own emotional state, continue to seek that in friends that you have to maybe put up a little more of a boundary around. And I think that's that Three of Pentacles energy coming in and how you can do it. Do that, because your peace of mind is important, and these friends don't deserve to disrupt that based upon their choices that they've made. All right, some of the other cards that came up are boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? That's cute. And then look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius, and a win-win outcome is forecast. Moon in Libra. A couple things. Full moons are important, but even more so, there's a lot of purple here. Amethyst is purple. Both of these cards are purple. Both of these moon oracle cards are purple. And then this is Libra. I'm feeling Spirit is saying you will have a win-win outcome when you set more energetic boundaries. You're seeking balance and harmony. Libra's already about balance. And you're doing that using this kind of work situation that you would use as a template, because it's probably easy for you to do it at work, and operating in your Queen of Pentacles energy. You will get your friends, or if this is a family member, to see the bigger picture a lot of times, which will help them in the end make better decisions, instead of coming to you, making bad decisions, and coming to you and dumping their emotional shit on you, which disrupts your peace and your harmony and your equilibrium. And you need to constantly seek that. And when something is disruptive to that, be okay addressing it. And once again, addressing it, you can do that in a very nice way. It doesn't mean you lack compassion. It doesn't mean you lack love and empathy for a person, but you are important, and you don't deserve to have your peace trampled on and disrupted because of your friends or this family member. Like I said, talking about adults here, bad choice of maybe dating that fuckboy or fuck girl. Like, that's not okay, because you didn't choose to date this person, your friend did. So they're going to have to sit with that misery a little bit. You can be a commiserating ear for a little while, but if you have to just walk away at times and tell them, like, say they call you on the phone on a Saturday and you have things to do, you can say, hey, I have some things to do. After maybe 10 or so minutes, or before they even get into it, say, hey, I have some things to do, but I'll definitely catch up with you later. Be okay walking away for the moment. It does two things. A, it allows you to really prepare yourself for dealing with that emotional roller coaster of a situation better when you do. But B, it also lets your friend or family member know, whoever this may be, because I really, again, feel this is one person, that you're not just going to be there for them to, like a little kid, they touch something they shouldn't have, but then they can go run to mommy with a boo-boo. Like, no, we're grown. So they have to understand you have your own life, you have your own priorities and things to handle. And if they react in an emotionally manipulative way, this is coming through, because I think this will happen for some of you, like, oh, you just don't care about me, or say something like that that they know would really hurt you. You just calmly say, be in your Queen of Pentacles energy, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I have to go for now. Be calm, because what they're trying to do is disrupt your peace, because they have no peace. And that's why setting energetic boundaries is so important for you, my pal twos. And I really want you to walk in that in a way that will help you be successful. If you want, especially if you want to continue the relationship with this person, and I feel that you do, many of you do, it's important to set up that boundary so they can learn to behave differently and operate differently in a relationship, but also you aren't completely drained from dealing with this person. So this is the message that's coming through for you, my pal twos, around what you need to do on setting energetic boundaries. Feel free to check out another pile if it's calling to you intuitively. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe below, and hit the bell notification so you know when I post new content. Also, check out the links in the description box below. I have a link to my Instagram, a link to my Amazon wish list, and a link to my Patreon. We're a high vibe tribe over there. I post exclusive pick a cards. Any extended readings that I post on YouTube, I post the extended exclusively there for the moment. Also, I post Too Hot for YouTube readings, and I post tutorials on how to do things in a very practical way, like developing your intuition. So if this is where I leave you for today, thank you for letting me read for you, and I will see you in my next video. Hello, hello, my pal threes. For those of you who selected this beautiful raw rose quartz, about what you need to do, this is your reading about what you need to do to set energetic boundaries. Now, the energy I'm picking up holistically from this pal, unlike the pals 1 and 2, where they were more related to a specific person, I feel it was talking about you setting an energetic boundary with person or specific persons. For this pile, I feel this is more general about what you need to do overall. So I asked Spirit for answers to specific questions for this spread, and this is what came out. So how can you separate yourself from other people's energy? And I get the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is about deep healing, deep rest, taking a step back, and like really spending time focusing on your renewal. So I feel that overall, you may need to take a break from some of your friends or family members that cost a lot of emotional energy. And I don't mean in a bad way, but like you not all the time feel emotionally exhausted from these people, but I feel that in general, you just need to take a step back and regroup and stop letting anybody else's stuff impact you, my pal threes. That's how you can separate. I feel you need to just pull your energy back overall, spend some time just with yourself, even though this is a timeless reading, but if you're watching it at the time it's being recorded, restrictions in a lot of places in the world have come to an end. And even though you may want to, go out and get out, do that, but also be okay still being in the house and maybe not running to answer the phone on the weekends and deal with some of your friends or whomever's emotional stuff. So I think this is an overall message of just pull your energy back a little bit. And then something you can do in the moment to stop absorbing unwanted emotion, you have to ground and protect yourself, like with the Seven of Wands energy. And I really love this card in this deck because she's sitting on, I forget the name of it's like a meditation pillow. Drop in the comments if you know what these things are called. So she's sitting on like a meditation cushion and she's surrounded by this beautiful protective globe that's transparent. So these wands you see down here can't get to her. She's just in her power. She's focused. She's in a place of peace. So I feel one thing you can do, my pal threes, is to stop absorbing unwanted emotion in the moment, is just take a step back when you're engaged in a specific scenario and ground and protect and ground and center yourself. I know that is easier said than done, my pal threes, and it's something you're going to have to practice at. It's not going to happen the first time you try, but I feel that will help you engage in a more effective way going forward when dealing with people who just have a high emotional expenditure. Let's put it that way. And then I asked Spirit, how can you remain grounded in your own energy? And the Ace of Wands came up. So I feel once again, if you notice the eyes of all these ladies in these cards, they're closed. This to me is about turning inward, listening to your intuition, spending time in meditation, spending time to yourself, working on that third eye, as you see in the Ace of Wands. Working on your own intuition to see also the things you need to be, you can really help with. Now, you can always be compassionate and considerate and loving to a person, but still have boundaries, and understand that setting energetic boundaries, or actually setting appropriate boundaries in any area of your life, is a form of self-care. And I know a lot of people have never heard that before, but it absolutely is true. You want to stay balanced. You want to stay your best. And one way to do that is to not allow people to dump their shit on you, my pal threes. So that's how you can stay grounded in your own energy, is just be in your own mind, be in your own space, and understand that you have the ability to control how much you allow these things to affect you. Once again, easier said than done. I won't lie to it. Um, but you can do it, my pal threes. I feel you may have not don't have strong energetic boundaries with people, and you need to really work on fostering stronger ones. And I feel that's what this next card is saying. So something to remember when you want to set energetic boundaries is this Knight of Swords. So do it. It's all about, doing something in haste, doing something quickly, as you see the guys running after the motorcycle in the card. What I feel it's saying here is you have to be intelligent and make a quick decision about setting those boundaries. And a lot of times it's going to be in the moment situations is what I'm hearing for you, my pal threes. So after you've gone through a stage where you've taken, drawn your energy back a little bit, taken a step back from some of the friends or family members or whomever causes you or cost a great deal of emotional or energetic expenditure to be around, after you kind of reemerge and come back out, I don't think it's going to take you a long time to do. You are going to have to be swift in your decision making to set these boundaries, or things will go right back to where they are now. And I feel many of you are exhausted and you're kind of tired of that. And then how can you use your energy and sensitivity to help others? I feel Spirit is calling you to be balanced with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups in this spread, the energy is I'm reading is to keep your heart open. So though you're going to be establishing these boundaries, make sure you just keep your heart open, stay loving. You don't have to be strict or nasty about it. And you may be not sure how to do that. So a circumstance that comes up to me for how you can set those boundaries would be to explain nicely to a friend, who comes to you with something crazy, is to say, hey, we can talk about it for this long. Like, I feel it maybe actually setting like time boundaries around things. Or another thing, if that seems a little harsh to you, my pal threes, is you challenging in a loving way, because staying open and with the joyful heart is Page of Cups in this energy in this spread. You challenging them to say, well, hey, that relationship didn't work out, or that thing didn't work out. What have you learned from it? And then let's talk about that. So I feel that Knight of Swords isn't just swiftly setting boundaries, but making an intelligent decision on how to shift some of those dialogues so they aren't as emotionally and energetically draining to you. Because I feel that is something that's happening just in general for you, my pal threes. I'm not feeling it's a specific person. I'm feeling this is like a general thing. So some of the oracle cards that came out were align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? And I feel what's not aligned is you setting these energetic boundaries to be in alignment with the other boundaries you have in your life. Like, I'm feeling for you, my pal threes, you have your shit together in other areas of your life pretty well. But for some reason, this one area, there's not enough of a boundary, or the boundary is weak. So I feel that's where you need to be more aligned. And then we have 2 moon oracle cards, and I have communication is key, new moon in Gemini, and I have the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. I feel the communication is key makes sense with this Knight of Swords, and how you're communicating to the people who cost a lot energetically to be around and engage with. I feel you need to really communicate with them and offer them an effective challenge. And challenge does not have to be contentious or negative or anything like that. Let them maybe vent once, but don't let that be every conversation for the next month. Maybe let them vent once, maybe twice, but then challenge them to say, okay, we've talked about this. Now let's talk about some of the things you learned from this and how you're going to do things differently in the future. That communication is key. That intelligent and swift decision making and the way you communicate is very key, because that energy is going to be gaining momentum. I feel once you learn to shift those dialogues, those discourses with these people who are, have a large emotional and energetic expenditure to engage with, I feel things will turn in your favor. You'll feel more balanced. You'll still be very open-hearted and loving, but you'll be very much more strategic about your engagement. So you won't feel drained. They'll still feel energized after leaving talking with you, but it just won't be in the same way. They won't just be able to dump their stuff on you. No, you as a friend, and a good friend is going to do this, is going to challenge them in a right way to work through their own shit. So that's my reading for you, Pal 3s. Feel free to click on another video if something else, another pal called to you. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe below. Also check out the links. Oh, also hit the bell notification so you know when I post new content. Check out the links in the description box below. I have a link to my Instagram, a link to my Amazon wish list, and a link to my Patreon. We're a high vibe tribe over there, all about uplifting of our own energy and energy of the collective. I post exclusive pick a cards. Any videos that I posted here on YouTube where I have extended, I post them exclusively there right now, as well as I post Too Hot for YouTube videos, as well as I post tutorials on how to do very practical things such as raising or developing your level of intuition. But if this is where I leave you for now, I thank you and appreciate you allowing me to read for you, and I will see you in my next video.